Scattered, closing the gap. Good people, now this is your time to see beyond what you have been fed. Now here, beneath the tinting noise, touch that you've been denied. Behold the truth as the veil is torn to close the gap of that which was scattered. Scattered, closing the gap.
On 1st February 2018, Uganda, East Africa, Africa and the world at large woke up to the sad news of the passing of Moses Radio. Moses Radio had succumbed to injuries he had got after a fight in Entebbe. Moses Radio's death came as a big shock to his fans, friends, and family. Even though following the fight at a night out in Entebbe, he had been admitted in case clinic, many believed that that accident would not take his life. He had survived so many other fights and so many other accidents. So it was believed, and most of us hoped, that he would come back even much stronger. Unfortunately, all that didn't come to pass, as he was pronounced dead on 1st February 2018.
So I want to describe who a legend. I don't want to use my words really when I'm trying to describe this. I want to run straight to the dictionary. What does it say? I'll get this. A legend. Now, the definition of a legend, if you want to find out, it says, and someone popularly regarded as a legend, as historic, can be historical, but not authenticated. Let me do this. Let me get down. It feels like I'm preaching a sermon here. The second definition is an extremely famous, notorious person, especially in these fields. One, celebrity star, superstar, musical icon, genius, phenomenon, luminary, giant, big name, celeb, anything.
The unfortunate death of Moses Radio came with so many things. Among them was a debate on whether Moses Radio was a living legend, whether he's a legend after his death. The debate came after several people thinking that even though he had accomplished so much in a short period of time, he hadn't done enough to be recognized as a legend. Others were of a view that even though he had accomplished so much within 10, 11 years of Moses Radio and Weasel, his undoings were so big that they had reduced his success, and as such he couldn't be a legend per se. I believe, and I'm quite very sure, that whoever has that opinion is very wrong. Moses Radio was a living legend. For a musician who, in only 11 years, had over 300 projects, nominated locally and internationally, won several accolades, and impacted the East African music industry, not to be called a legend is an insult not only to him, but to the entire music industry. Clearly, from his accomplishments, Moses Radio was a musical legend. Moses Radio was an arts legend. Moses Radio was an entertainment legend. If Moses Radio was not a legend, then maybe East Africa, and to be specific, Uganda has no legends. Because in 10 years, he had stretched himself to accomplish as much as possible. In his last 3-4 years of music, he looked emotionally exhausted. And that was back to the fact that he was working so much to do so many great things. Even when he didn't have a hit song voiced by him, he had a hit song he had written for someone. I believe that radio and being a legend should never be a question. Radio had done enough to become a legend. Actually, radio was a living legend. In just 10 years, between 2007 and 2018, when they formed the dynamic duo of Moses Radio and Weasel, together with his musical brother, Weasel, the two achieved so much. In 10 years, the dynamic duo of Moses Radio and Weasel had sold out. The dynamic duo of Moses Radio and Weasel had more than 150 songs, to which over 80 were super hits. They had received local and international recognition, had won numerous accolades from Hype Music Awards, Channel O, MTV, BET nominations, among others. Of course, so many people out there are going to disagree with our position that Moses Radio was a legend, Weasel is a living legend. But again, we're not here to appease anyone. We give you information after researching about it. Clearly, anyone that doubts Moses Radio's success has a problem with understanding the dynamics of Uganda's music industry. Anyone who undermines Weasel, again, has a problem in understanding the dynamics of Uganda's music industry. To those of you that have been following this music industry, you know that it is Moses Radio and Weasel that ended the BBC dominance. I mean, it is Moses Radio and Weasel that put an end to the Bebe Cool, Bobby Wine and Chameleon superiority. Before them coming in the picture, it was a clear dominance of Chameleon, Bobby Wine and Bebe Cool. But Radio and Weasel changed the game. Thanks to Radio and Weasel, other artists came in and also achieved as much. The success of Ed Kenzo, the success of Aziz Azion, the success of Jenny Ozamba, the success of so many artists, Rabadaba, Graviton Tuju, etc., etc., is thanks to Moses Radio and Weasel. It is them that said enough is enough with this dominance of only 3 bulls. Let us do something to also become part of the circle of bulls. And when they punched and opened the door for everyone to come in. Whoever had potential came in. That's why you see today we see David Rutalo, we see Eddie Kenzo, we see Aziz Azion here, we see Jenny Ozamba, we see Fik Fameka, among others. What made them big is because Moses Radio and Weasel cleared the way for the rest to come. While several people continue to question his way of life, what he didn't do right, the wrongs he did, among other things, it is only fair that we focus on the positives that Moses Radio came to the world with. Just like me or you, none of us is a saint. Every now and then, we keep sinning. And it's only fair that for the wrongs we have done, we forgive each other, and for the great things we have done, we appreciate each other. It's very unfair that after his death, some people prioritize the few things that he didn't do right and ignore the so many things that he did excellently. On our side, we are focusing on the great things he did. He did great music, he helped several people, he paid school fees for kids, and he developed Uganda's music industry together with other people. It is true that Uganda has very few legends, more so music legends. But if Uganda has 20 musical legends, Moses Radio is one of them. If Uganda has 10 musical legends, Moses Radio is again one of them. And again, if Uganda has only 5 music legends, I'm constrained to note that Moses Radio is or was among those 5.
In 2003 at Blue Africa, Leon Island used to host a night, every single Tuesday. Yeah, every single Tuesday they would host a night, and I happened to run away from school. Those nights, of course, stubborn kids. I know if my dad is watching this, I'm probably doomed. He now knows that I used to, run out from school. So we get to this night, and I meet Moses Radio. Then he had just released this particular jam, "Sweet Lady, can I please take your number?" And then it was a beautiful jam. So I reached him and I asked him, "Man, Gigi, what happened? You changed your name all of a sudden?" Like, Mzee, Katiolaba, where do you get your music? I'm like, "I listen to music from the radio." He's like, "Exactly. So where does all the sweet music comes from?" I'm like, "It comes from the radio." He's like, "Exactly. I am the radio, right? I am where the sweet music is gonna come from. So from today onwards, you're gonna hear sweet music. I actually have a black book of songs that are not yet out there." So I'm like, "A black book of what? Of songs." So come on. If you still listen to the radio, then you'll always listen to Moses Radio. And if you watch TV, you'll definitely be watching Weasel. Hey, Radio and Weasel are legends. And it's true, we have legends in Uganda. I can give you a whole list, but today it's Radio and Weasel. They are our musical legends. Celebrate!